Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having a phenomenal day. Quick look here again at Matic, seeing what's going on. I got a lot of requests for this one. I can totally see why. I've got some fib levels up here. Also, some Elliott Wave potential. If we do end up pulling back, we could see as low as 0.382, that 116 mark. But truthfully, Matic is very strong right now, and there's no other way around it. Okay, so to keep it simple, that's generally the consensus. So I hope you're learning something, of course. If you can, comment below, like the video just before we get started. Greatly appreciate that. Helps grow the channel. And then what we want to look at is some back-end data here and just generally understand best practice for these liquidation levels. So with liquidation levels, keep in mind, $1.10 is that heavy concentration of longs. So a lot of longs are in profit there, up to that $1.30 mark in the recent past here. So Matic's doing very awesome, and there's no other way around it. We look at liquidation, a lot of shorts are getting destroyed. We got some late shorts here in the market. Again, I don't know what you're doing trying to short this coin, but if it does pull back, obviously by the dip, I would recommend not shorting just in general, just based on how well it's been performing. But again, it's not a guarantee the price can't pull back just because there's upper liquidation levels that are closer. Just implies that we could see the price continue further. One last thing too, also make sure you reference this here, Crypto Cash community. We got really a lot of new trading pairs available for Bitunix. So if you're already registered with my link, all you got to do is click the link down below, hit enroll, and you're good to go. We need 30 members between now and the 27th. Once we get that, it'll basically be a $10,000 prize pool split among 30 people. It's not too bad. Trust me, folks, it's really awesome. Check it out in your own time. So what we want to look at here is Matic. Double check the daily time frame, work our way down. We can see, again, this ascending trend working concurrent with the overall 20-day SMA. Okay, so again, fantastic stuff here. When we see this coin is not showing any signs of slowing down. Okay, as long as we stay above the 20-day SMA, we can pretty much presume it's going to continue higher. Looking down here as well, we can see the money flow index is high. Same thing as well with the RSI. RSI hasn't even broken through 70 yet. If it does, folks, we could be in a very, very awesome price discovery, at least a recent price discovery situation here for this coin. We can see, of course, stochastic swinging down a little bit, letting us know that we could be, a little bit higher on the side and that the price could pull back. But to me personally, there's nothing here that's really telling us it's going to. We zoom out a little bit here. We look at the more recent time frames. We can kind of specify that we can see, 85 cents as the heaviest amount of volume for this this time frame. We zoom in, of course, 4-hour time frame, looking at what the last is roughly last month's worth of trading. We can see roughly $1. Again, psychological support as the heaviest concentration of volume, giving us that point of control. Secondary to that, though, 113. Oops, sorry, hit the wrong button there. So 113 is essentially that heavy concentration of volume more recently. Okay, so that pretty much tells us this 0.382 at 115 is a very strong support, and if the price doesn't pull back to that range, it might be worth considering a long. I'm going to go ahead and set an alert on there just to kind of be notified later if the price does pull back to that area. Might consider a long position at the point. We're going to reevaluate, of course. Don't just set alerts and blindly jump in because it's an alert. Obviously, if it's like a really fast hitting alert and the TA is still solid, good to go, but we may not see this happen at all. And if it does, it might be weeks later. Okay, so please, please, please make sure you reevaluate before you just jump right in. But we can see MACD is converging here very strong. We can also see stochastic RSI is still swinging upwards. This coin is really good about having these long, dramatic swings. But the funny thing is, the price action isn't pulling back that dramatically, though. When you got these stochastic swings to the downside, this was the lowest point here. Second lowest was this guy right here, and then the low is right here. So these are the three stochastic swings we've seen to the downside and how it's responded to that. The key takeaway here is that when the price hits its highest point, it's not really pulling back all that much. Like, look at every time stochastic RSI hits its highest point, it literally goes sideways and slightly down and then recovers really quickly. So again, these are patterns you want to kind of pay attention to. This tells us that we're probably going to consolidate at the 130 mark here soon. We might leg down to this point, 0.236 level at 120, and then inevitably continue higher, right? So plateau, wick down, continue. It's doing the same thing over and over again. So again, that's why stochastic can be beneficial to identify those patterns. We can see a pattern here as well. We're overextended, of course, at a 9 on TD sequential, and we had a previous 8. So we've got two 9-to-9s back to back, really just implying that we are overextended. There's no other way around it. But if you look at this history, it has a tendency of doing this normally. So this is not like abnormal at all. What would be abnormal is if the price doesn't consolidate and leg up. That's really what would be abnormal for us. Okay, so again, we look at this most recent time frame here from March 9th. This is like basically the last 4 days of trading. We can see a strong amount of volume at 120. That's a heavy amount of control. So the price does pull back. That would be a solid pivot point or potentially a good entry level for the initial target. Say 120 to 116 would seem like good, likely long positions. depending on how the market responds. Again, Bitcoin crashes to 60K or 50K or something obnoxious, which is possible. I think it's less likely. Then we're going to see Matic do something similar. You can't, it's not perfect, but pending Bitcoin not correcting itself, Matic and I guess you could say ETH is a very similar scenario. They have very similar charts. We're seeing that kind of continuation within those two. So just some friendly advice. Be careful in shorting any coins like this right now. You really shouldn't short much. We shorted some AI coins recently, had some good success. Just to kind of throw it out there, what was it? It was Fetch.ai, we got 34%. Obviously, we got AVAX and Injective longs, killing it with those ones. But we also took profit on Ocean too, right? So those were just some tighter shorts, 5x leverage shorts that we hit our targets, got in, and we took majority of our profit and we're letting the rest ride. Again, don't consider shorting the market unless you have full confirmation, which those did have that. Watch my videos if you're curious. I get the question a lot as to why I did that. Again, I traded with confirmation is what it boils down to. Either way you look at it here, we're above the cloud. All reasons to not consider a short position with this coin. Tremendous amount of momentum and potential. So we got literally 12 to 24 hours before we have to consider even thinking about a short. And that's just the beginning. We want to trade with confirmation, and truth is, cloud's already all the way over here. Unless the price does one of these in the last 48 hours, we're not going to have any confirmation to go ahead and trade on. So seriously, don't short this coin, folks. You're going to be statistically more likely to find success to the upside. There's no other way around it. That's really what it boils down to. So again, statistical probabilities. Is there guarantees in this market? No. You just increase the odds of success by analyzing the charts like we just did here so far. And do yourself a favor too, try not to overcomplicate things. Some people use like 15 different time frames and all sorts of blood diamonds and crazy weird stuff. Truth is, less is more, folks, and you can be much more successful because you can overanalyze the heck out of a chart and effectively talk yourself out of a trade or into one that isn't necessary, okay? Again, we're looking for reasons not to take a trade, and right now there is no reason to take a short. And there is every reason to consider a long. I would just recommend waiting for a slight pullback because we are near the end of this upper swing, okay? Again, if the price does pull back 0.382, that 116 mark would be a perfect entry just for our next leg up, okay? Again, just some friendly advice, wait for a good entry on this one if possible, and if not, consider taking some profits in the next 24 to 48 hours because the price does pull back. It shouldn't be that much, but you still need to secure profits no matter how you look at it. All right, folks, once again, friendly reminder, make sure you register for Bitunix, link down below for this here. Not just registering for it, but you want to register for this event. We got, again, if we just get 30 people to start, you get a $10,000 prize pool. Split among 30 people, it's a pretty solid return. Okay? And that's based on profit and loss ratio and volume, as well as random users drawn. So hope that works well for you. Thanks again so much for watching. We'll see you all in the next video. Deeply appreciate if you like and subscribe before you leave. Have a good rest of your day. We'll see you next one.